What is happening, Forum? Welcome back to the show. Today, we are talking about a guy who is so cheap, he makes a person who splits a $2 bill look like a philanthropist. We have a story about a woman, let's call her Anita, who is living in a house that isn't a home. It's a high-security vault for protein. She's married to a guy named Arthur, and let me tell you, Arthur is not just a husband. He is the lead auditor of the kitchen. He is the warden of the stew. This man treats his grocery list like a top-secret government budget. If one piece of goat meat goes missing, the whole house goes into lockdown. So, grab your calculators and hide your snacks because we are diving into the meat-counting monster. So Anita is at home cooking, right? Just trying to make dinner. But Arthur is there, and he's not helping. He's counting. Whenever he's home and she's cooking, he counts every single piece of meat. And it's not just for fun. He saves that number in his brain like it's a PIN code to a bank vault. Anita says that if the number of meat pieces doesn't match his calculations after a few days, he makes her kneel down and flogs her like a child. Whoa, hold up. Let me get this straight. You are a grown man and you are conducting a CSI investigation over a missing piece of brisket? Officer, we have a 419 in the kitchen. A cube of beef has been unaccounted for since Tuesday. And then you flog your wife? My guy, your brain isn't lagging. It is completely crashed. You aren't a husband. You're a toddler with a power trip and a stopwatch. To survive this madness, Anita has turned her kitchen into a logistics center. Whenever she cooks, she makes sure to put them in disposable plates, not for hygiene, not for organization, for counting purposes, so he can count the meats and the number of plates stored. Imagine having to label your dinner like it's evidence in a murder trial. Plate 1, 2 chicken wings. Plate 2, 1 drumstick. Anita doesn't even eat the meat anymore. Even if she spends $5,000 of her own money on meat, she won't touch it because she's afraid the meat count will be off and Arthur will go full dictator mode. And look at Arthur's parenting skills. He has a 4-month-old son, and what does he tell the baby? When you grow up, you should be just like me. Son, one day all this, the counting of the beef, the withholding of the chicken, the absolute psychological warfare over a piece of cow skin, one day all this misery will be yours. Arthur, you aren't raising a son, you're training a future tax collector for the IRS of poultry. But wait, it gets stingier. Whenever Anita's family visits, Arthur's hospitality is, well, it's non-existent. He tells her to give them tasteless sugar cane. Sugar cane? That's his welcome to my home gift? You might as well give them a handful of gravel and a glass of lukewarm tap water. But when his family comes over, oh, he dishes the food himself. He counts the meat he gives them. He counts the meat that's left. He is the gatekeeper of the gravy. But this next part, this is the one that killed me. Arthur buys milk and Milo. Does he put it in the pantry? No. Does he put it in the fridge? No. He keeps it in the trunk of his car. He is driving around with the dairy products. He only brings them inside when he wants to use them, and then he puts them back in the car like they are bricks of gold. Imagine being a burglar. You break into a car expecting to find a spare tire or a toolkit, and instead you find 2 boxes of Nesquik and a gallon of milk. Arthur is the only man in history who treats breakfast cereal like a high-value drug shipment. When Anita was pregnant, Arthur didn't give her a dime for medical bills. Why? Because he didn't trust her with the cash. He made payments directly to the hospital for everything. Antenatal, paid. Scans, paid. He even asked the doctor exactly how many scans she would need so she couldn't scam him out of an extra $20 for a sonogram. Anita now even thinks her husband is the most stingy person to ever exist. Anita, you aren't thinking it. You're stating a scientific fact. This man is the final boss of stinginess. He has reached the maximum level.
Here comes the Christmas rolls around, the season of giving, right? Not for Arthur. Arthur writes the shopping list himself. He doesn't invite anyone to the house. No parties, no guests. He's not sharing his meat count with anyone. But do they stay home? No, they visit more than 10 people and eat their food. They are grifters. They are the avengers of free jollof. Arthur is out here like, we saved $50 on turkey this year because we ate at the neighbor's for 12 hours straight. High five, Anita. Don't look at the meat. And if Anita's mom calls and says she's coming over, Arthur hits her with the classic, Mama, we won't be around. He's basically turned the house into a private island where the only currency is Arthur's permission. Here is the darkest part. Whenever Anita tries to help her family, like sending them a little money, Arthur finds out, and his punishment? He makes her kneel down and raise her hands for hours. One time, her mom, Mama Joy, came over and saw Anita, who had a 1-month-old baby at the time, kneeling on the floor for 2 hours. Mama Joy did what any sane person would do. She told her daughter to get up. And Arthur? Arthur got so mad that someone challenged his authority that he stopped talking to his mother-in-law for a year. He said she has no right in his house or over his wife. Arthur, you are 38 going on 18th century warlord. You are punishing the mother of your child like she's in a Victorian boarding school. Anita even jokes that, in a week, I kneel more than school children. That is the saddest sentence I have ever read. You shouldn't be kneeling in your own house unless you're looking for a lost remote, not because your husband is a protein-obsessed tyrant. Anita is tired. She says she regrets not marrying the old man her uncle suggested, or just staying single. And honestly, Anita, being single sounds like a luxury vacation compared to the meat audit. At least when you're single, you can eat a drumstick without a trial by jury. Let's be very clear. This story is not about stinginess. It's about control disguised as discipline, humiliation disguised as marriage, fear disguised as order. Counting meat is not the problem. Kneeling down someone is. Isolating someone from family is. Punishing generosity is. Turning a home into a courtroom is. Honestly, if this story doesn't restore your hope in the fact that your own life isn't that bad, then I don't know what else will. Because at least you aren't hiding a piece of beef under your pillow like it's contraband. So Forum, what is the stingiest thing a partner has ever done to you? Did they count the grains of rice? Did they lock the milk in the safe? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Peace.